What if everything you were ever taught about money was specifically designed to keep you from building it? Most people will spend 40 years working, saving, and following all the rules and still retire with almost nothing. Not because they weren't smart enough, not because they didn't work hard enough, but because nobody ever showed them the actual code. Today, that changes. Here's a number that should disturb you. According to the Federal Reserve, the top 10% of Americans own nearly 70% of all the wealth in the country. The bottom 50%? They own just 2.5%. And this pattern isn't just in America. Across the UK, Europe, and nearly every developed nation, wealth is concentrating faster than at any point in modern history. So the question isn't whether a gap exists. The question is, why are most people on the wrong side of it? And more importantly, what are the people on the right side actually doing differently? That's exactly what we're breaking down today. 5 brutal reasons why 95% of people never build real wealth, and the exact mindset shifts that put you in the 5%. Stay with me, because reason number 3 is the one most people never see coming. For money, forever. Let's start with the most fundamental trap most people never escape. From the moment you enter the workforce, you're taught one thing: show up, work hard, get paid. And that's not wrong, but it's dangerously incomplete. Here's the problem: time is the one resource you can never get back. And when your only strategy for making money is exchanging your hours for a paycheck, your income has a hard ceiling. There are only so many hours in a day. Wealthy people figured this out early. They don't just trade time for money. They build systems, assets, and investments that generate income whether they're working or not. Think about it this way: a doctor earning $300,000 a year is technically rich, but the moment they stop working, the money stops too. Meanwhile, someone who owns 3 rental properties, an index fund portfolio, and a small online business might earn the same amount while sleeping. The first person has a high income, the second person has wealth. That distinction between income and wealth is the first code most people never crack. The shift starts when you stop asking, "How can I earn more?" and start asking, "How can I build something that earns for me?" Reason 2: they spend to look wealthy instead of building actual wealth. Here's one of the most dangerous traps in modern society, and social media has made it 10 times worse. We live in a culture that rewards the appearance of wealth: the newest iPhone, the leased BMW, the designer clothes bought on a credit card, the expensive holidays posted on Instagram. And here's the psychological trap: it feels good, it signals status, it gets likes, but underneath the surface, it's financially catastrophic. There's a famous concept called lifestyle inflation. Every time your income goes up, your spending goes up to match it. You get a raise, you upgrade your car, you land a bonus, you book a better holiday. And somehow, no matter how much more you earn, you never seem to get ahead. The wealthy think completely differently about this. In Thomas Stanley's legendary research for The Millionaire Next Door, he found that most actual millionaires live in modest homes, drive used cars, and avoid flashy spending almost entirely. They don't look rich, they are rich, because they understood something critical. Every pound or dollar you spend performing wealth is a pound or dollar that isn't building it. The question to start asking yourself is this: am I spending money to look successful or to become successful? Because those 2 paths lead to very different places. Reason 3: they were never taught how money actually works. This is the one that makes most people genuinely angry, and rightfully so. Think about your entire education, years of school, exams, essays, history, algebra. But when did anyone sit you down and explain compound interest, or how taxes actually work, or the difference between an asset and a liability, or why inflation is silently eating your savings? Almost never. And this isn't an accident. Financial literacy is one of the most powerful tools a person can have, and it's almost completely absent from mainstream education. Here's what they didn't teach you. Compound interest is the closest thing to a financial superpower that exists. Albert Einstein reportedly called it the eighth wonder of the world. If you invest $500 a month starting at age 25 at a 10% average annual return, by age 65, you'd have over $2.6 million. Wait until 35 to start. That number drops to just over $1 million, a 10-year delay. Costs you $1.6 million. That's not motivation, that's mathematics. Most people aren't poor because they're lazy or stupid. They're financially behind because nobody gave them the instruction manual, and the first step to changing that is exactly what you're doing right now. Reason 4. They let fear and emotion drive financial decisions. Ask most people why they don't invest, and you'll hear some version of the same answer. It's too risky. I might lose everything. I'll wait until things are more stable. And meanwhile, inflation quietly destroys the purchasing power of the cash sitting in their savings account every single year. Here's the psychological reality. The human brain is wired for loss aversion. Studies show we feel the pain of losing $100 twice as intensely as the pleasure of gaining $100. This made perfect evolutionary sense when we were hunting for survival. In the world of wealth building, it's catastrophic. It causes people to panic sell investments during market dips, locking in losses right before recoveries. It causes people to hoard cash in low-interest accounts, while inflation erodes its value. And it causes people to never start at all, because doing nothing feels safer than risking something. But here's what the data actually shows. The S&P 500, the index of America's 500 largest companies, has returned an average of roughly 10% per year over the last century. Through wars, recessions, pandemics, and crashes, the long-term direction has always been up. Wealthy people don't eliminate fear, they learn to act in spite of it. They follow systems and strategies instead of emotional impulses. And that discipline, over decades, is what separates those who build wealth from those who always meant to. Reason 5. They never built a wealth system, just a survival system. Most people have a financial system, it just isn't designed for wealth. It looks like this. Money comes in, bills go out, whatever's left gets spent, or maybe a small amount gets saved. Next month, repeat for 30 years. It's a survival system. It keeps you going, but it never moves you forward. Wealthy people, almost without exception, run a completely different system. It's sometimes called pay yourself first. And it works like this. The moment money comes in, a percentage is automatically moved into wealth-building accounts before anything else is touched. Investments, index funds, assets, emergency fund, before the bills, before the subscriptions, before the weekend plans. You don't budget what's left after spending, you spend what's left after investing. This single habit, automated and consistent, is the backbone of almost every wealth-building story you've ever heard. It removes willpower from the equation entirely. The system runs whether you're motivated or not. The difference between the 95% and the 5% isn't intelligence. It isn't luck. It isn't even income. It's systems. The wealthy build systems that work for them. Everyone else builds systems that just keep them alive. So let's bring this together. 95% of people will never build real wealth. Not because the odds are against them, but because they're playing a game they were never taught the rules to. They trade time for money, with no exit plan. They spend to signal success instead of building it. They were never given basic financial education. They let fear and emotion drive their biggest decisions. And they run survival systems instead of wealth systems. But here's what I want you to take from this video. Every single one of those things is fixable. None of them require you to be born into money. None of them require a special degree or a six-figure salary. They require knowledge, a shift in thinking, and a system. That's what this channel is built for. Every week on the Wealth Code, we break down the financial strategies, wealth psychology, and money principles that actually move the needle. No fluff, no get-rich-quick promises, just the code, decoded. If this video gave you something valuable, subscribe. Because the next video we're publishing breaks down exactly how the wealthy use debt as a weapon to build more wealth, while most people are buried under it. The code is right here. All you have to do is keep watching.